this video, I will rank the different marketing channels that you can use as a real estate wholesaler. So let's dive into it. The channels that we will cover are cold calling, cold texting, which is mass SMS, and also driving for a dollar, referrals, Facebook ads, and Google ads. So let's start with cold calling. Cold calling is simply when you call a total stranger that is a homeowner, and you ask them if they want to sell their property, right? Now, the pros of cold calling is that you get fast feedback. You get immediate feedback as you're the one on the phone cold calling all of these homeowners. You also get high lead quality because you are the one choosing the list to download, the area and their pain point, etc. Also, it's great for building sales skills and closing confidence, because if you never did any sales job before, cold calling is a great way to break into that world and actually try out, and it will help you develop your skills way faster because it's one of the hardest sales channels to actually do. And the cons of cold calling is heavy rejections and burnout risk, because if you're calling a total stranger asking them if they're interested in basically selling their house, most people will actually reject you on the phone. So it's very heavy on rejections and it will make you uncomfortable, but that's a good thing because it's a very important skill to have if you're planning on doing sales in the future. Also, it requires volume to find deals. Do not think that the first 10, 20 people that you'll call, you'll actually get a deal, and it's as easy as that. No, it will require a lot of volume to find your first seller that is actually interested in selling for a good price and then get them under contract. So it will take time and a lot of hard work. Also, you need tools like a dialer and skip tracing tools and consistent scripts. So you need to have a script to know what you need to say every single phone call, because if you don't have a script, basically you're doing it randomly. You might get someone under contract, but you don't know really how you got them under contract, and then you cannot duplicate the results, right? So you need to have a certain script that you're following to ensure that you can duplicate your results over and over again. Now, when to use cold calling? You use it when you have time to make many calls per day, right? And you want fast answers. So what does time mean? It means that you have at least 4 to 5 hours to sit there and just do cold calling, right? Not like 30 minutes, not like 1 hour per day, no. At least 4 to 5 hours per day. Now, it's best for people that are comfortable on the phone, who can handle rejections and scale outreach. Now, even if you're not comfortable currently on the phone, but you know you can handle rejection, I would still tell you cold calling is perfectly fine for you, because you can be comfortable after doing 100, 200, 300 calls, right? You will just get used to it. Initially, of course, anything new would be uncomfortable. So, after that, we have cold texting. It's very similar to cold calling. You're texting a total stranger, asking them if they're interested in selling their house. The only difference is that instead of calling them, you're just texting them on the phone. Now, the pros of it is that it's low friction for the sellers, and you get higher reply rates than email and even phone calls, because most people nowadays actually don't like to speak over the phone and they prefer texting. So usually sending mass texts to people will get you a better reply rate from the same list. Also, it's scalable and easier to automate than calling, because you don't need to be there physically and manually call all of these people. No, you're scheduling all of these texts and they're being sent automatically. Also, it's quicker to get an initial interest with short scripts. So what you're doing is sending out these text messages to homeowners, checking if they want to sell, and if they showed interest, then you call them and you carry on the conversation from there. The cons is that there are legal risks that you need to be aware of, so I would recommend before you do cold texting, you research a little bit and learn about the legal risks. And also, you cannot just send one message and expect to get great results. You'll need to have a follow-up sequence for everyone, at least like send an initial message and then 2 or 1 follow-up message. Also, it requires a good list quality and a compliant texting platform. So you need to get a texting platform that will not basically put you in any issue legally. So make sure that the texting platform is actually compliant and you have a good list quality. You use it when you want quick, scalable outreach with minimal voice work, which is like calling. And it's best for beginners who want to do volume without cold calling anxiety, and those with solid skip traced lists, right? So if you have a good quality list and you're anxious about doing cold calling, you don't feel comfortable at all, and you know you're not good with handling rejections, then it's better to start with texting and then call the people that reply and build your sales skills like that. And then if you feel comfortable enough, then you can switch back to cold calling, right? But ideally, you can do both at the same time also. Then you have driving for a dollar. This is basically you physically drive around your neighborhood to find vacant properties or distressed properties, and then collecting the owner information or skip tracing that information and trying to get in contact with them. Now the pros is that you find true off market deals and low competition leads, right? Because you're finding them in your neighborhood. Also, you have high quality leads and often motivated sellers because you're selecting the properties that look vacant, that look distressed, and you're only skip tracing the contact information of the owner of that property. Also, you have low cash cost and you control your pipeline, so you don't have any investment up front really, right? Because you're just driving around yourself or walking around yourself. The cons is that it's very time consuming and slower lead flow. So it's extremely time consuming to go around searching for deals. It's very, very time consuming, and it will get harder and harder to find leads, so it will slow down even more after you find the deals that are around you. Maybe you need to expand the radius then that you're driving around in. So it's just very time consuming. Also requires a lot of legwork and organization, like you need to know basically the streets that you're going to go around in, you need to go know the neighborhood, and it requires a lot of legwork as you need to be physically there going around the neighborhood. Also, it's not scalable at all. It's very, very hard to scale driving for a dollar because it requires a lot of manual work. Now, when to use it? It's when you want exclusive off-market leads in a specific area and you can spend a lot of time on the field. And it's best for hands-on local investors and let's say you have no money, bootstrapped operators who wants unique deals. So if you have no money at all, like $0 to invest, and you don't want to do cold calling, then that's the best next option, which is basically driving around your neighborhood and trying to find deals. And then you have referrals. Referrals is simply when someone like an agent, a contractor, a friend refer you a seller that wants to sell their property really fast. Now the pros is that these are the hottest leads that you will get because they were referred from someone else, so the trust is already there. They already trust you a little bit and you know they actually want to sell really quickly. Also, you have low or zero direct costs. So even with, let's say, driving for a dollar, it is zero cost. But let's say if you're driving in a car, then you have gas money, right? But with referrals, you don't have that at all. You're not doing anything. Literally, business is coming to you. And you'll be able to build long-term reputation and repeat business with these partners that are referring you, these sellers like your agents or your contractors. And now the disadvantages, it's very unpredictable and slow to scale. So you don't know when someone will refer you basically a seller. It might be, they might refer you, for example, a seller this week and another seller the week after, but they will stop referring you business for, let's say, 4 or 5 months and then refer you back to someone again. So it's very, very unpredictable. Also, it requires relationship building and time investment, like going to events, networking in your city and building relationships with people that would refer you sellers. Also, it depends on others' network and willingness to refer you someone. So you're not depending on yourself to actually make money. You're depending on someone else to refer you business, which is really unpredictable, and you won't be able to scale it that way. Now, when to use it? Always. You need to always use referrals. But here's the mistake that people do. You should always use it, but it should never be your only source of motivated sellers, right? Because we said it's unpredictable and unscalable. Now, it's best for networkers, agents, and anyone focused on sustainable and low-cost growth. So if you're someone that don't want to actually create a business out of it, and you want just to do a deal here and there, then referrals are good because you won't be actively in the business, but you might get a seller here and there, so it's good for you. But if you want to build an actual business, you need to use referrals always, but it should never be your only source of motivated sellers. Then you have Facebook ads, which is using Facebook and Instagram ads to attract motivated sellers to you. So what you're doing is that you're launching paid ads to attract and target motivated sellers to submit a certain form to inform you that, hey, I want a cash offer on my property. And then you get their information and contact them, right? So the pros of Facebook ads is that it has rapid lead volume when campaign works. So when you have an active campaign that is actually generating results, you can go from, let's say, 0 leads right now to having 50 leads in 2 weeks. 50 leads that are motivated sellers and actually have an interest in selling. And also it's highly targetable, and you have creative control, so you can target basically specific areas, specific cities, specific counties. And you can, creative control is basically that you can create the kind of content that you're promoting to attract these sellers. And it's also very scalable across any market. You can always scale it. Facebook ads is basically an unlimited source to get sellers from. Now, the disadvantages is that it requires testing and skills and a budget. So you cannot start Facebook ads with $0. The minimum requirement actually to start Facebook ads, you need to at least invest $1,500 monthly to be able to close at least one deal per month. And you need also the skills to execute the campaign successfully and get any results, because it's not weird at all to start a Facebook campaign, invest $500 and get no results at all. Also, it requires expert setup to avoid wasted spend. So again, let's say you don't know how to set it up, you don't have the skills, you might set it up the wrong way and you spend $500, $1,000 without getting any results. And it also requires ongoing management and optimization. So let's say you have a campaign currently running and actually generating results. That does not mean the same campaign will generate the same results after a month or even 3 weeks. So it does require ongoing management and ongoing optimization every 7 days, I would say, depending on your spending for the campaign. So when to use it: if you have some budget, which is like $1,500, time to test, and a follow-up system in place. So if you have basically a machine that is working, attracting people from Facebook ads, and then you have systems in place to do follow-ups and so on, then you can use Facebook ads. If you don't have these stuff in place, we do not recommend using Facebook ads. So it's best for marketers or someone with the experience to actually execute a campaign successfully. Now you have Google ads after that, which is very similar to Facebook ads. It's paid ads, but here what you're doing is that you're changing the platform. You're going to Google, and it's the search engine campaigns where someone, let's say Google's sell my house fast, your link will be on the top there. They click it, submit a form, and then you will get the motivated seller. The advantages of Google ads is that you'll capture high intent leads, people that actually have a high intent of selling their house quickly. Because remember, how you got the lead is that there's a person out there that Googled that I want to sell my house quickly, and then your ad popped up, right? That shows that that person really wants to sell their house quickly and their intent is high because they're researching how to sell it. And also the leads tend to convert better than cold traffic. So the lead conversion rate is actually better than Facebook ads. However, the cost per lead is actually higher than Facebook ads. And it's very scalable. It's extremely scalable and it's easy to scale once you have a successful campaign and good landing pages. The disadvantages is that it's expensive and competitive, and it's very costly to learn. So if your plan is just to invest and learn as you're going, it's very expensive to do that. Also, it requires the same thing, expert setup, and it does require ongoing management and optimization to ensure that you're actually generating results every single month. And when to use it: when you already do deals consistently and can invest in high quality paid leads acquisition. So basically, you don't start initially with Google ads. Google ads is actually the last channel usually you start with. You initially, if you want to start paid ads, you start with Facebook ads, and then after closing deals from there, you scale up to Google ads and you start investing in that channel. The minimum ad spend that we usually suggest for Google ads is anywhere between $3,000 to $4,000. That's the minimum. Best for, again, marketers that know how to execute campaigns, or if you have someone on your team that can execute the campaign successfully. So just to give you a table where you can compare everything, these are the channels that we have, and here are the cost estimates. So cold calling usually will cost you anywhere from $300 to $400 per month. Cold texting anywhere from $500 to $700 per month. Driving for $1, again, $0 to $100. Referrals, $0. Facebook ads, at least $1,500 per month. And Google ads, at least $3,000 per month. For the difficulty, cold calling is actually hard, especially if you don't have experience doing it and you're uncomfortable on the phone. So it will be very hard. And then cold texting, it's very easy. Literally anyone can do cold texting. Driving for $1 is medium, so if you have time to invest and you can go around the neighborhood, then it's actually not that hard to do. But it's medium because you will need to invest a lot of time, and it's like physically demanding of you, like going out there and and researching for properties. Referrals is very easy. Basically, you're not doing anything. You're getting business that is ready to close to you. Facebook ads is hard to do because the setup is hard. To get it right is actually hard, not easy. And Google ads is even harder. Google ads are very hard to do if you don't know anything about marketing at all. That's basically for difficulty. Speed, cold calling is medium. Cold texting, same thing, it's medium. Driving for $1 is actually slow. And referrals are also slow and unpredictable. Facebook ads and Google ads are very fast. So you can start a campaign today on Facebook. After 48 hours, you start getting motivated sellers to you. So again, you know it's best for example, cold calling hustlers with time and confidence. And let's say not confidence, they're willing to be uncomfortable, right? Cold texting, beginners who want to start quick conversations with sellers, driving for $1. Hustlers who want hidden gems, basically hidden properties in their neighborhood, and they're willing to invest that time to find them. Referrals, it's for everyone. Anyone that can network with people and build relationships. Facebook ads, anyone with ad experience and can build and execute a successful campaign. Google ads, same thing. You need to be an experienced digital marketer to be able to execute a campaign successfully. And excluding referrals, all of them can get you to 5 deals per month pretty easily. So it's not like one channel can get you to 5 and one channel will only get you to 3. No, all of them can get you to 5, even in some scenarios 10 deals per month. But of course you'll need more team members if you're doing like cold calling, for example, or cold texting. But all of them can get you there. It can get you to $100,000 per month or even more, only by using one of these channels. What I would recommend is just choose one or maximum 2 channels that you want to scale with and go all in on these 2 channels until you hit your goal. And then if you feel like you need to expand to a better channel, then you do that. Ideally, you want to be at the end, you want to be around Facebook ads and Google ads, because these are the 2 channels that can take your business to the next level really fast. And also it's very scalable without you hiring more and more people. And it will help you grow really, really fast. That's really what it comes down to. And yeah, that's pretty much it. These are the channels that we are gonna cover today.